Hello and welcome, I am Xari and today we're gonna build an iron farm with an auto crafter and an item sorter. And this is my series Under the Sea, where I'm gonna transform this entire valley into an Under the Sea theme build. Now this was from episode 1, the little starter house with some water plants and some fish to decorate the area. And yeah, hey, if you want to help me to push the video out, please give it a like and maybe a subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And then I can make more videos like this and have some more views. Thank you very much. Now, I really chose this theme because I like to build under the sea and I'm not gonna flood this entire area, but I'm gonna make like builds in the theme of under the sea. In the iron farm, I chose to make it high up in the sky, because then I can actually hide it in some kind of sea creature, I hope. Now this farm, you can also make it on the ground, but if you do that, just make sure with about 7 blocks all around it, you make sure that they're not spawnable blocks. So maybe make pad blocks out of dirt, of grass, or slap it down so no golems will spawn around there. Now here in the sky I don't have that problem, so I'm just gonna make my little box where I can put my villagers and my zombie in. And make sure that even the 3 barrels you put buttons on, otherwise a golem might spawn in there. Now for 3 villagers I need 3 beds, and then in this area behind it is where I'm gonna put the zombie in a boat. And I'm using grass so I can actually make those blocks pot blocks, so they're not spawnable. Now I have to make a box around it because I am having this one into the sky, and I would actually want the iron golems spawning on top of it, so I can drop them down. Now of course I know there are many tutorials that you can also burn the golems on top of there. Yes, I could have done that as well, but I like to have my collection system below the ground, that I can make it really nice, but also that I have the space to make like the auto crafters up there and an item sorter. So that's gonna be like an automatic farm in that kind of way. Now I am using some glass. Why? Because then I can look into the farm and see if there is a trouble, if it stopped working, why it stopped working, because it has some little bit of tips and tricks all along. Now I'm making sure I have enough space, room, that the villagers can be in there. And here you can see I'm actually making the dirt pad blocks, and then I'm looking here, yeah, this seems to be alright, that seems to be alright, and over there I'm gonna place a boat, because that's why I'm gonna have the zombie in. Now this is a creative world. The time, I also stopped the time, it's just easier for me to record. But of course if you're gonna make this in a survival, at night you have to get a zombie, have to follow it, because if you do that in the daytime, he will burn. Or he will not even spawn. And also with the villages, I spawn in the villages with some villager eggs, but of course in like a survival world I would have a breeder and get the villagers from there. Now make sure to slap this, so that's why they lose line of sight and the villagers can actually sleep from the zombie and not getting hurt. So that is an important slap over there. And then I'm just looking, do I have enough space? Is it all right? Yes. And I'm actually ready to spawn in a zombie, but I almost forgot that they will burn if I don't put a little bit of a roof over them, so they are in the sun, because they will burn. And yeah, I clicked accidentally on it, so it is working. I can sit in there. And now I'm gonna spawn in a zombie. And I almost killed it because I placed the boat first. So don't do that. But yeah, if you do it, you won't spawn in a zombie will follow you. Now sit in the boat, and this is important, make it sure it's on the second bed all the way on top to the bed. If you put it a little bit too far to the back, the zombie will be in the line of sight and the villagers can't sleep. And if the villagers don't sleep, your farm is gonna break after about 3 circles, I believe. So here I'm gonna spawn them in. They will have the job because there are barrels there. They have the 3 beds so they can sleep. And now I am actually gonna look, yeah, they're there. So this is where the golems will spawn, and I'm actually making all walls on it. Make sure there are no blocks that they can spawn on when you do this. So don't use full blocks, use a wall, and they will spawn on top of the full blocks in between the walls. And I'm gonna slap this one too, just to be sure that nothing will spawn there as well. And I think that is a good decision. And now from the water will push them on the side. And if you do like a little, if you're gonna burn there in one of the corners, or at the end you want to have some lava in the air, that they will be killed there. But I'm gonna drop them down into my collection area that we're gonna build later. Now I'm gonna set it to night so that you actually see if they sleep, the golems. See, there's one in the bed will spawn. And yet they're still freaking out. There was already a golem spawning, so it works. It's time to make the collection area underneath it. So I've been looking where the golems would drop down, and this is way bigger than I need, but I like to make it into one of those water plants that kind of spit out oxygen bubbles. So this is bigger than it needs to be. So don't think, oh, that many hoppers, that many just need to be this big. No. And for now, I'm going to collect it into double chest with hoppers. And I actually made it lower so that I actually can mine it out there and make the item sorters and the auto crafters underneath there. Because I think that's neat. And make sure that all the hoppers are facing towards the one line down and facing into each other. Because otherwise, you won't collect anything, it will just sit in the hoppers. Now you make sure you have like a line of a layer of your hoppers, a layer nothing, a layer of the signs, and on top of the signs I'm gonna put lava so that the golems will fall into the lava, the head will burn, and then under there the iron and the poppies will drop into the collector system. Just in this case that is the hoppers, and the stuff won't burn. If you put the lava all the way on the bottom, the stuff will burn as well and you don't collect that much. Now, this is the collection area. It's done. I did decorate it a little bit. And now it's just, should I test it? Should I not test it? I know it works. And here's the collection area. As you can see, it has been running. Now, I must say, I built this farm into the spawn chunks of this server. If you are in your own world, make sure you have an AFK spot, like close enough that it actually will work. So as soon as I'm here around spawn, this farm will run. If you're not at spawn, make sure you have an AFK spot. And I forgot something. Can you guess it? Yeah, cheeky, I know. I just forgot to name tag him. Luckily he didn't despawn. Now, and as you can see, it works. The golems drop down, the stuff is collecting in the chest underneath it, and as you can see, they will burn, the head will burn, and all the items are going down. So that is all 2 steps of this farm being completed. The 3rd step is making this look into some kind of ocean creature, some kind of nice aesthetic thing. And I was like, should I make a manta ray? Should I make a hammerhead shark out of it? I came up with something else. So can you guess what this is going to be? I need a big circle around it. And when I thought, well, I'm going to make a compact iron farm in the sky, I didn't thought it would be something that would end up as a really big build. But it did. Hence it takes a little bit longer for this video to come out. But yeah, I can't stop myself. I was like, nah, maybe I thought at some point I only show you how it is as the farm. But I'm like, nah, I like to build something around it. So here I'm doing a test. If it actually is far enough away from the farm that the golems won't spawn. And in the beginning it looks really good. They're all spawning nicely, chilling in the water, falling down. I was like, yes, I did it. Until it changed. And I was like, oh no. Now I don't care if they spawn inside of my sphere I'm gonna build, but I do care if they spawn on top of it. Because then I have to slap everything. And so I thought, you know what? To be sure, I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger. And that's what I'm gonna do here. So if you're not familiar with making circles, just look up plots. And in plots you can do circles, sphere, ellipsoids, all kind of shapes. And you can see the different layers, how they look. Now I'm gonna test this again. So 1, 2, Now I did it way longer than 3 times to make it sure, but I'm not going to show you the 15 iron golems falling down, okay? It worked. I was like, yes, this is big enough. I can build it up from here. And now there's only one thing, building time. Now when my octopus / jellyfish is basically finished, I'm pretty sure we'll go back in here and there and light up something more on the tentacles. It is time, yeah, this is how it looks from underneath. It looks like an alien, evil creature. And this is what I got all in here. It's actually time to mine this thing out. Oh yeah, and I thought, what can I build in here? Well, first, let's mine it out. So let's see if this works. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, that's easy. It already built itself. No, I'm just joking. I'm gonna show you how I did this. But it's already with the autocrafter and the item sorter. Don't worry, I'm definitely gonna show you how to make it. So let's do that. I'm actually gonna show you, as you can see here, all the hoppers is in one line. Now, I made a little circle there that all the items will go round and round if they don't pick up at the first thing, if it is too busy or whatever, just to make sure it won't break. And as you can see, here's the item sorter with the puppies, the item sorter for the iron, and then it is the item sorter I used. This is actually the item sorter from Impulse SV. I've been building it before, and yeah, I've built it a couple of times now. It's quite easy. It's not that difficult. This is the line into the autocrafter. Now, I am not a redstoner by all, so don't start with me with the T-flop and I don't know what upside down thing here and there. I'm trying, so I was just figuring out and trying out different things. And if you put all the iron in here, it's collecting in there. And then the second crafter is being takes all on, and that makes sure that there will be blocks, that it makes blocks out of the ingots. I can never say a word in one time. And now let me show you how to make this. So this is going to be the item sorter. Like I said, it's actually the item sorter from Impulse SV. He has some tutorials about it, and I have been building it since years, to be honest. I've been building it, and at some point I thought I will never do anything with more than 2 dots of redstone, because I'm not a redstone builder. I just like to build weird stuff. Until I actually tried out his tutorial and thought, it actually works. So maybe I can make something. And now I do like to kind of try things out and make some stuff my own. I will never be a really good redstoner, but as long as it works the Xari way, something I called Xari tech, is with the least amount of redstone possible, then I'm happy. So this is one module. You can make many modules on the side. Make sure you make an item filter, and I did this wrong. I put 5 sticks in this, and that is wrong. Put 4 in it. Now, if you're gonna set this up, you wanna have a named item so that you make sure that you have a filter that is named. So never ever, if you run all kind of blocks through it, you'll run the same block through the filter, because otherwise it's gonna pick up that block and it will break your system. So this is the input and the output. So I'm gonna make a hopper line above it, and then you can actually see how it works. So if I put it in the input chest, it should only pick out the iron, and the rest should be in the output chest. Now I'm gonna see, of course I don't have to drop sticks in there, because otherwise it will break. So let me see, I'm gonna just put some logs in there. So I'm gonna put some iron in there, a little bit more, a little bit less yet there, and some logs in there. And now you can actually see it. It is already going through the hopper line. It will filter out the iron, and it is gonna be there. And the other blocks that I don't have a filter for are ending up in there. And this is how an item sorter works. And this is what I have back there, and I got 2 of them. I got like the poppies and the iron. Now make sure you do something with full stacks. If you want to do like ender pearls that only have 8, you have to do it a little bit different. But there are also tutorials online for that, and that is an item sorter, pretty easy. And now it's the autocrafter. So this is new for me, and I've been kind of playing around with it. There are different kind of systems, so don't tell me, oh, you used the wrong system. I know, but this was one that was kind of easy for me to make or to understand how it worked. You have one crafter that's gonna collect the iron ingots. You got one crafter, you set it to all the blocks. And here I'm gonna show you. Make sure the autocrafter is looking with the face towards you. You have all this stuff. A comparator, a repeater, a block, and then a redstone dust. Then that way it's gonna face the autocrafter again. So we have another comparator, and you have the autocrafter. And this is basically how it works. You click them all on, 9 of them. And then in there, you have to kind of collect your system. So I put a hopper on there with a chest to show you how it works. And of course, mine over there is on the hopper line. You put in your iron, and it will go in there, and it will spit out the blocks. Look, I found it funny because they have like a face that spits. And if you put a chest in front of there, it will be placed in the chest like that. And that is the easiest way I can explain how I made it work for me. Yes, and that's it. And here you can see all the beautiful redstone crafts I made. Like, oh no, what did I do? Of course, I'm gonna make this room look good at some point. I thought maybe I can make it an underwater aquarium with fish and stuff. Let me know what I should make from this one. Now, I'm gonna show you a flyover from what we did this week. I really want to thank you for watching. I hope to see you next week. And I think I'm gonna let my videos out on the Thursdays from now on. It's just easier for me and my work schedule.